use that to help with liquidity within the DEX. And right now it's just in discussion, but there is currently a proposal up to for the committee members to vote on to withdraw those funds and then use them for something along those lines. And there's been some ongoing discussion about it and how it might work. And it's already been put out in the forums. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the thread and just to get input on that before we took any kind of action. And yeah, so that's about what's going on with the committee right now. Everyone just got back from holidays, so just the other day when the price dropped, we started discussing things and getting underway.
By the way, Data, with regard to the GitHub initiative that you're going through, have you considered the work that Jacob has been doing? I know his website's kind of rudimentary right now, but he's amassed he's centralized a lot of information about witnesses as well.
I didn't know about that, so that's I'll certainly look and see if there's something we can do there.
It's really very good. It's very comprehensive in what he puts together, and he's got plans to make it a little prettier and a little bit easier to navigate, but it's pretty straightforward right now. I haven't looked at it in a few days, but last time I looked at it, he was putting together a lot of great stuff, and I think he was talking to Roadscape over at CryptoFresh about maybe integrating some of that with the CryptoFresh side as well.
Sweet. I'll check it out and see if there's something there that we can work with.
All right, guys. Well, I hate to butt in. It is 10:35. We have taken approximately a 10-minute break. I am sure that Riverhead and Ken have had time to get their coffee, which is imperative. We all know that. So now that that has been accomplished and they are no longer sleeping in their chairs, would you guys be ready to get started with the next hangout?
Chris, are you back now? I know Chris had to make a head call real quick.
I always wondered why they called it the head. That's the last thing that I'd want to call it.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny too when I first joined up, but it's kind of stuck with me ever since.
It's an engineering term, which where water sits on a column from the pressure. That's called the head value. It came long before any other association.
Damn, this is what I love about Mumble, man. Okay, so now that we've got all these facts figured out, everybody seems like they're recording. Welcome, everybody, to another Beyond Bitcoin Hangout. Today is Friday, January 8th, 2016. We are joined again by Kencode and Chris 4210 from the BitShares Talk forums to talk a little bit more about OpenPOS, the wallet, the BitShares mobile wallet, and their plans with the crowd sale. And what we'll do is we'll open up for them to go ahead and talk a little bit about it for the individuals who may not have heard the last hangout with them, kind of give a small recap, and then we'll move into community questions and comments and discussion. For those of you who are not familiar with this, just follow along, and it's not that hard. Feel free to speak out or type it in the chat box in the left bottom hand corner of the Mumble client, and I will try to ask them for you if you can't speak them out loud. Thank you, everybody, and get ready to mumble, Ken.
Thanks,
Chris, you there? Keep Ken on a leash, Chris, all right?
Well, I think we really need to buy a new microphone here.
It's okay.
Okay, Fuzzy, I guess I could probably kick things off just to kind of give everybody a rundown of where we're at so far, what's been built so far, what's downloadable now, and what's coming over the coming days. So what the OpenPOS token is, and let me paste a link for you real quick here. Okay, that link right there is to the OpenPOS token that Chris is going to cover. So Chris is the CFO for the company, so he basically handles all the accounting and all of the token stuff with CCEDK and all that. So, but what I'll do is I'll cover all the technical side about the point of sale systems and the mobile wallets. So first off, let me start with the mobile wallets. We released the Alpha 7 version 4 days ago, and that is now ready for download, so you can go to the thread there. Oh, wait, not that thread. Let me give you a different one.
And for those who
There we
are
go.
listening, this is on BitShares Talk
You're breaking up a bit there, Fuzzy.
under the general category. For those who are
Fuzzy, you're breaking up.
listening, both the general.
You just went off the grid, man.
Yeah, Fuzzy, your internet is shot or something, man. We're not getting 20% of what you're saying.
Testing, talking dirty.
That sounds better.
Well, but that's better.
I think the aliens touched me back down a minute or two early. Okay, anyway, all joking aside, just what I wanted to make sure of for everybody who's listening to this, as you're posting these links, they are found on the BitShares Talk forums under the general discussion tab and in project development.
That's right. We have one that sort of points to the project development thread because it just seemed like it was so buried in there that it really looked at that much. So, but anyhow, so we have a couple of links, and in the subject of the links of those threads, you'll just look for the word Android or iOS or something like that, and you'll find our stuff. So. But Alpha 7 of the mobile wallet was released 4 days ago, and I should have the Alpha 8 version done by next Friday. So, excuse my voice is really like the holidays or something, man. But we should have the next version ready to go by next Friday, the 15th. So in one more week. So Alpha 8 is going to have a lot of user interface improvements. We basically wanted to make it functional first, make it as solid as possible, and then start to make it pretty, after the fact. So we already have all the general design done, but converting the design itself piece by piece into code is what's taking place right now. So we'll have the Alpha 8 ready for you on next Friday. I guess before I move on to the point of sale systems, does anybody have any questions about the mobile wallets? We are going to have Android, iOS, or the iOS version should be done in about 2 weeks. And then we also have a Windows Phone version. And then here's a request. If you guys know anybody with a Black Phone 2, I would really like to try this out on the Black Phone 2 and do some beta testing on there as well. So just for it's that uber secure, handy cell phone. So if you do, let me know, please. But I'd be happy to take any questions about the mobile wallets if you guys have any.
I would love to. Normally, I try to let everybody else speak first. However, before I open that up, have there been any community members who have stepped up and helped you by downloading the wallet and using it and seeing, giving you feedback or any of that during this process, who you'd like to thank?
Yeah. I don't remember the names, but there was a couple of people who posted some stuff that they had found, like some layout issues, and definitely translation issues. So in the Alpha 8, we're going to have a lot more of the translations fixed too. So we I do have that document actually. If you guys want to look at it, if it's all the translations that are in the wallet. Let me post that link for you. Just 1 second.
Thank you. This Mumble Hangout has been brought to you by ShareBits. Pass your own token around, whether it's a piece of shit or a 5%. JK.
All right, so there's the link to the different languages that are in the wallet. So the mobile wallets are in 22 languages to start out with, and I've had a lot of help, as you can see from this document, from different people in the community too. So from Chris and BTS Wolf, BTS Wild Pig, 029XUE, Fanya, Harvey, Zypher, Freebie Servers, BitAcer, Jacob helped out. Actually, Jacob, the entire Polish language from scratch, because our translation sucked so bad that he said it basically didn't make any sense. So I definitely thank Jacob for redoing the Polish language completely. So, and then Russian was done by Tess Z. So this is thank you guys so much for helping us out with the translations, because this is really important to getting mass adoption. So having mobile wallets for every platform in 22 languages, I think should really help.
I think that's pretty necessary for world adoption, and third world countries are one of the chief places where they would like to have exchanges out of a box, a banking exchange out of a box. So yeah, definitely, man.
Chris, do you want to talk about the OpenPOS token real quick? And I'll give you guys a quick rundown on it. Basically, where we're at right now, we've raised over half the amount of money already that we need to finish the project, and just a little bit more, and we're there. So if you guys are interested, check it out, because the OpenPOS token also comes with rewards too. So definitely talk to Chris about that. But Chris, if you could please go over the OpenPOS token.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah, that would
basically,
be awesome.
First of all, I want to thank several users that already supported us with their investments and their support. We have many silver titles already invested. We have a couple of golds, which I'm very thankful for. And we also have smaller investors in the bronze section. So I want to thank all of them that supported us in the project, that support us with the development of the BitShares wallet and also the POS. We have 2 more days for the special early bird discounts. So basically right now we have special discounts, as you can see in the form. Depends how much you are going to invest, how many BitShares you are sending to us. We can give you a special discount, and we also are able to accept Bitcoins. We are able to created a bridge between the Bitcoins and our BitShares Munich account on the BitShares network. So if you want to invest with Bitcoin, just send me a message, and we're gonna basically give you the right current prices for that too. And as Ken already mentioned, we raised around good half of the 19,000 euros so far. This is very, very good. That means we can start very soon with the development. However, we still need a big chunk to start developing. And we're here for any of your questions, so please ask us whatever you need to know. If you have doubts, if you have questions about the returns, if you have questions about the system and the future revenues, just ask us and we're here for you.
Well, one thing that I would like to bring up real quick, when will this be the actual sale of these go into the second phase, so to speak?
So the second phase is going to start on the 10th of January. So basically in 2 days, we're going to start selling the tokens on the DEX. And the sales price is going to be 25 BitShares. then the early bird investment phase is over and everybody can freely buy the tokens. And then after we reach basically our funding of 19,000 euro, then when we reach it basically in the next couple of days, we can finish the first version of the SmartCoin POS already end of March, beginning of April. So we can finish this project very, very fast, and then we can also start selling and promoting the program and also the product. And then we also expect the first returns for each open POS investor.
Chris, what would be the memo field that you want to put in if we want to make an investment with the discount again today?
So for today, that would be Mumble33. Just type it into the memo field or just send me a message. Can also post that into the Mumble chat. So just send us the BitShares to BitShares-Munich account, and I will do all the rest and send you the OpenPOS back after this Mumble.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Are owners of
Does anybody else have any questions or comments in this area before we move into any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. Are open POS going to be eligible for an income stream? And if so, how will it be distributed to them?
Well, for now, of course, we offer a buyback program. So when we have the first sales and we are collecting the first profits through the through the SmartCoin open point of sale system, then we're going to distribute the first tokens through a buyback program, and later on we also plan to distribute it amongst basically. It depends how many open POS tokens you hold. You will get a fair share basically on the profits. But we have to look into that a little bit deeper because this is also a legal issue right now. We have to be here very careful because we are not in Denmark. We are sitting here in Germany right now, and for us, that could create a lot of problems so far. So that's why we decided to start with a buyback program. That way we can benefit, we can share the profits with all the open POS investors, but in the future we have future plans that all open POS investors will also be able to have a direct profit cut of each transaction within the SmartCoin POS network, and that's going to be very, very interesting, and that's what we are looking forward to, and we are very happy to offer that to all investors in the future.
And that's in the code itself. So that's not something that we would even have control over. So it's actually embedded in the code. So for every transaction that takes place at the cash register, it's similar to paying Visa or MasterCard. You know, they take their cut, well, so does OpenPOS. So, and that's how we're going to be able to fund any kind of upgrades and stuff like that. So when Odoo comes out with Odoo 10 or whatever version they're going to come out with next, and we need to include something for that we could stay on top of it. So, and I know I am too, because I mean, this is for all of us that hold OpenPOS. I bought some myself. So for all of us that hold it, I mean, it means that we can finally have an income. I mean, for me, because I don't make anything, man. I just sit here and work all day. But so anyway, so that's how that's going to work.
And the 50,000 businesses that
Don't
Odoo
you eat thread?
Once upon a time, that is correct. For every right now, Odoo has over 50,000 businesses.
My question was, where are they? Where are they? What's the region where they're located?
All over the world, according to Odoo management. Chris and I both have spoken in person with Odoo management, and I have more meetings planned with them too after we get our first case study out there. So, because what I would like to do ultimately, see, the plan right now is to launch the SmartCoins POS as an app. But my communications with the management is this: I want SmartCoins POS to be embedded in their core product, so that when they roll out their next version, it's automatically installed and it's visible in the settings screen of Odoo. So this way, the customer doesn't have to do anything other than see it the next time they upgrade. So they'll see in their settings screen what payment types does your business support, and they already have cash, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, but now they have SmartCoins. So this is going to be actually embedded in the software, so that the merchant doesn't have to install anything because it's part of their existing Odoo package now. So, but those negotiations are going to take some time, probably a few more weeks, and then we're going to have our first case studies out there too with the apps installed, and that's something that we're working on locally and abroad, so that we can use those existing systems. We don't have to try to recreate the wheel.
So is Odoo a German company?
I don't know. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't know, because they had people from all walks of life at that last thing that we went to with them too. Chris, do you know?
Well, I'm just checking actually on their website. It was founded 2004 and has 6 basically offices in Belgium, San Francisco, New York, Luxembourg, India, and Hong Kong. That's basically where all of their developers are sitting.
The reason why I like Odoo the most and why I picked them first is because, number one, they're open source. Everything that they have basically is all in Python and jQuery. So it made it really easy for me to get the right guys for that particular job. So the guys that I have on the Odoo job, they're based out of India and Turkey. So as most of you guys know, I hire people from all over the world, so I get the best labor you can possibly imagine. These guys work 12 plus hours per day because they want to. And like my Russian developers, for example, I made these guys work right through the holidays. So, and it's not a big deal to them because, through all this and the little bits of money that I throw at them, they're actually able to have nice cars and everything with that kind of money. So they work extra hard because they're living the life on what most people would think is a ridiculously low salary. So, but anyways, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've been outsourcing, and so it's something I'm pretty good at. So, anybody else got any questions? Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, I'm curious if you could just kind of paint the picture for those of us who haven't been paying a lot of close attention to OpenPOS. I manage a restaurant, for instance, and last night I was actually on completely unrelated looking at Odoo or however you pronounce it. And I'm just curious, what's the overarching plan for rolling out a system of this nature, maybe even independently of Odoo, or like what will the standalone, kind of, what will it look like in practice for as far as you guys have conceived it?
Well, Odoo, I think the best way for you to get accustomed with Odoo is to try out their demo online. So if you're looking to upgrade your existing point of sale software at your restaurant, that would definitely be the first step, and just see if you like it and if they have the features that you like and whatnot. But their system is totally open source. But what's going to happen with the smart coins POS integration with Odoo is it's basically going to have the same exact Odoo system that you're used to looking at, whether it be in a supermarket or a restaurant or whatever. But in the back end is where all this is going to take place, in the settings screens of the Odoo software and the accounting and the ledger and all this, but in the back end. So when you as the merchant, when you enable smart coins, this is going to now provide the customers who come to your place of business to say that word, because you're going to have a sticker, right out there on your front door with that Visa sticker that says smart coins accepted here and Bitcoin accepted here. So this is all something that's done in the back end. So all the customer has to do is just say that word, and then the QR code is displayed on the cash register for the customer to scan with their BitShares mobile wallet. So, and the nice thing about the BitShares mobile wallet too is it allows you to shift in all kinds of other coins. So they'll be able to shift in their Bitcoin and whatever. And as Block Trades adds more bridges, we can actually process even more types of coins, which is going to be pretty nice, including the market peg smart coins. So the customers that want to pay with Bitcoin one problem to mass adoption with Bitcoin thus far has been the volatility of the coin and all the centralized exchanges getting hacked. So now, if they can bridge directly into BitUSD or BitBTC or BitEuro or BitCNY or whatever, they can still accept Bitcoin from people, and the merchant doesn't have to worry about the volatility anymore. So we've provided as much as we can as a win-win for both the customer and for the merchant. So neither party really has to think much. All they have to do is just have a wallet, and the merchant just has to have the smart an ODU system, basically. So that's all it comes down to. But this same software that we're writing right now for the smart coins POS is also going to be not just for Odoo, but we have a large list of other. There's about 50 of them actually. I have them prioritized by possibility and how big of a project it's going to be and the expenses and so forth. But Odoo is just the first, and Odoo has 50,000 businesses currently. And the nice thing about this is, one of those businesses, for example, is Cox Communications. You know who Cox Communications is? They got millions of customers. So immediately they're going to be able to roll this out. So, and they're just one of those 50,000 businesses. So we're leveraging a lot of a pretty big network that they already have in place. And if we do a module with them, which is what I'm working with their management on, that means we will actually be able to utilize their entire marketing stream. So all of the marketing now that Odoo does is going to include this new. Oh, look at this new smart coins thing. They can start talking about cryptocurrencies now. So we're giving them a lot to talk about as well. So.
I love it. This is one of the things that Apple Pay and Google Pay have had for probably the past year or two now. And I've been waiting for this type of functionality for BitShares ever since I heard about Apple Pay and Google Pay, right? Because as soon as these giants come out with their payment apps, that people are going to start using them. And it doesn't matter to most people whether it's crypto or not. So I was feeling like, man, we need to get this moving on this front. So I'm very interested to see where it goes. I would urge everybody who's, got any money for donating or investing, I don't know what you call it, to remember that you only have 2 days left for getting the discount on this.
I should probably mention one major benefit to this too is because, and this is why I chose to do the mobile wallet and the POS system at the same time. It's because of these e-receipts or electronic receipts. With the JSON receipts, JSON, with these JSON receipts that are generated at the cash register, you can have a receipt that's a mile long now and send it directly to the customer's phone with their purchase. So what it does is it compresses that JSON file, and then base 58 encodes it and throws it and generates a QR code from that. And that's the QR code that the customer reads with their phone. And this is why I made that comment on the forum about anybody else who's thinking of developing a mobile wallet to please support the standards that CNX put out there on GitHub for these JSON files, because your wallet should be able to read those QR codes too, because you could go to the supermarket and you've got 100 items in your cart. That's a really long receipt. Well, wouldn't it be nice to actually have that receipt for your accountant or your tax accountant at any time? This is why we have export features in the mobile wallets as well, because at least for my account, that's all write-offs, man. Everything that I would want to spend with this is like I want to be able to have receipts for my stuff. So I want to show, well, this was a write-off, this is not a write-off, and so on. So e-receipts, I think that's the future too. No more paper receipts. Currently, all these NFC systems and whatever, they require you to give the merchant your your email address. I don't want to stand there and give the merchant my email address. That's just dumb. I would rather just have that thing come right to me automatically. And if I want to view it later, I will. But at least that way I know I've always got it. And it's saved in one compressed line of code too. So it's not like it's going to start filling up your SD card or something on your phone. It's one line of code. It's a compressed, it's a base 58 encoded JSON file that's been compressed. So it's super slim. But that's I think one of the major benefits to this too. It's just bring the volume to BitShares, and the only way to do this is by getting it into supermarkets. So you gotta. Oh, there's another thing. In the next version too, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but we have the Finder. I got to thinking about, okay, well, mass adoption. Why is mass adoption not occurring? Well, I need to build a way to have a way to get the crypto that I want. I need to have a way to spend it the way that I want, and I need to be able to get paid in the crypto that I want. This is all stuff that's going to have to take place, right? Well, we're also integrating the meetup.com API with the Finder. So basically, that's going to allow you to find local meetup groups in your area. So far, by the way, there's only 6 meetup groups for BitShares. So guys, please start a BitShares group in your town. The next thing is going to be the jobs market. So right now, there are a few sites that are doing a pretty good job with having crypto jobs, but that's going to be built into the wallet as well, so that you can take on little jobs. But so by tying into their API, we can actually have job listings in the Finder as well, so that you can get crypto. So lots of stuff on the table. Version 1 is almost done, as you guys can see. We just got to get all the user interface stuff worked out and get the rest of the OPENPOS token finished up, and then we should be able to have the first POS systems rolling out by March. So we're literally that close.
Can you? This is Riverhead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
Perfect. Okay, I've been fighting for like 20 minutes to get my mic working in silence. I have a question about the developers. How do any of them have stake, or are any of them being compensated in stake?
None and no.
Okay.
Nope, they are.
Is there a reason specifically you ask, Riverhead?
Well, we talked about the funding and the cost of development and this and that, and I know if you look at BitShares and the enthusiasm the shareholders have, for sometimes for better or worse, a lot of it is because they have some skin in the game, and I'm wondering if funding becomes an issue as you get closer, if it would be worth rolling in some of the developers, or they sort of come and go like a fungible resource where that's not a path you want to pursue.
No, the people that work with me, a lot of them have worked with me for many years, and the ones that are now getting into this graphene stuff, I pay everybody via milestones, many different milestones, as a lot of people in the community can attest to, that I preach about it all the time. You have to have milestones with them, and they have to meet those milestones, or they don't get paid. That's just flat out how it works. And we always use escrow as well. So the money is held in escrow, and then when finish up the next milestone, then I'll release that milestone, and then they can get paid. So I don't know how to put it. You guys don't get to hear how I yell at them and how I'm pretty aggressive with getting projects done on time and on budget. But I haven't missed a milestone yet, and we're always on time and on budget. So I trust my guys, and they're always striving for more work with me. So
good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. This is the thing that makes these hangouts amazing, is that other people who have experience in various areas can ask their questions, can give their input. And to hear Riverhead speak out and ask some questions has been nice. There have been other members who've spoken up and asked some questions. Once upon a time, asked some good questions. Are there any topics though that you feel like we haven't covered that you feel is important that we do cover? I know one of them for me is, how the community can help you if they can't afford to necessarily buy in, but they would like to help in some way, shape, or form. But
yeah, absolutely.
Are there others that you have?
Yeah, the most help that I need right now is with the translations. So that Excel spreadsheet that I posted above, I don't know if you can still see it on the chat box, but that has been the most work, making sure that the translations are perfect. Because you have to remember that every one of those little fields that you translate has to fit on a button or something on a small mobile screen. So some of the translations were coming out really long. And I'm looking at it while I'm beta testing. I'm like, that button looks really stupid with all that text on it. So you have to make sure that you try to match the length too of the English version in your translation. So I sincerely appreciate everyone's help, because like the Chinese was horrible, the Polish was horrible. Chris has done a great job on the German. Chris is bilingual. So it's just with a little bit of help from everybody on the translations, I think we can make this thing absolutely flawless. So when we announce this to the world and it shows up in the Apple Store and the Android Store and the F-Droid Store and the Windows Mobile Store, this thing is flawless. I want 5-star reviews on these wallets and in all of our products that we produce. But you can't fake those reviews on Google and stuff. So I want this thing to be absolutely perfect. I'm just overly anal sometimes and kind of an asshole sometimes. But you know what? I produce quality products too. So any little bit of help that you guys can help along with those translations, so I greatly appreciate it.
If you want an example of how bad Google Translate is, you type a paragraph up yourself, translate it to Chinese, and then translate it back and see what you get. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, there was a Chinese translation on the forum today. Fionike or somebody, I think, didn't you send that to me? Anyway, somebody sent me a translation. They're like, Ken, you should look at this. And because the Chinese community was starting to kind of sound like they didn't want anybody that wasn't from their country or something, or at least that's what the translation told me. And I'm like, what? I mean, this wallet is in 22 languages. What do you want? I mean, if you don't like the label on the button, then definitely change it and submit a pull request. So, I've got everything up there on GitHub for you guys to help us out too. But those translations got to come first, because I want the first launch to be absolutely perfect, because those 5-star reviews are going to be everything.
Where can people get access to the GitHub?
It's at github.com/kencode-de. Like Kencode - Delta Echo.
Got it. Okay, and I had one more question. Just let me remember it. AJ, edit this out.
Can't hear you, Fuzzy.
So when